So far, we've only talked about what happens when the dividend is a decimal. What if the divisor is a decimal? What if I wanted to divide, for example, 13.8 by 0.15? How should I do that? This seems like it's going to be awkward. And so whenever something feels like it's going to be awkward to keep track of, I'm going to try to make it look like a problem I've solved earlier. My goal here is to make this look like division by a whole number. So how should I do that? Well, I'll have my 13.8 divided by 0.15. And I'm going to think of just the 0.15 in fraction notation. I'm going to pretend that 13.8 is a perfectly good whole number. Now I'm going to rewrite this as multiplication. 13.8 times 100 I know how to do. I'll have 138. I want the decimal point 2 places further to the right. I'll need to put in a 0 to hold the place. I'll have 1,380 fifteenths, which I'll understand as 1,380 divided by 15. That accomplished my goal. I'm now dividing by a whole number. All right. It looks like I'm playing really fast with this, right? Let's make sure that works before we go on any further. Let's do this division. 15 goes into 13, not at all. It goes into 138. I want to guess 7. 7 times 5, 35. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 3 is 10. 7 was too small. Let's try 9. 9 times 5, 45. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 4 is 13. There we go. 15 goes into 138 9 times. 3 left over, bring down the 0. 2 times 15 is 30. So we have nothing left. So our claim is that 13.8 divided by 0.15 is 92. If that actually worked, if the decimal point is in the right place here, it should be the case that 92 times 0.15 should be 13.8. Let's see if that works. Let's see. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 1 is 46. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 9 is 9. 0, 8, 13, 1, 2 digits to the right of the decimal point. We get 13.80, which is indeed the same as 13.8. Okay. So that worked. Let's look again at what we did. We had 13.8 divided by 0.15, which we wrote as 13.8 over 1 divided by 15 over 100. Then rewrote as multiplication, 13.8 over 1 times 100 over 15. So what did we end up doing? Multiplied 13.8 by 100. Why 100? That's the denominator of 0.15. And then the new divisor was just 15. The numerator of 0.15. Just practically and visually, what did we do? We multiplied the divisor by a power of 10 so that it was a whole number. We multiplied the dividend by the same power of 10. And again, since we're multiplying by a power of 10, we can think about this as moving the decimal point. And we just need to move the decimal point the same number of places. All right, so let's try another example without going into the details of why this works. Let's divide 6.579 by 1.7. Our first step is to rewrite this as division by a whole number. So, to get from 1.7 to 17, we had to multiply by 10 to the first. So we had to move the decimal point one place to the right. We should do the same thing to the dividend. So we'll get 65.79. So to find the quotient here, the division we should actually carry out is 17 into 65.79. Copy the decimal point before I start. 17 goes into 6, not at all. 17 goes into 65 at least once. I think maybe it goes in 5 times. Let's see. 17 times 5. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. No. Unfortunately, 5 was too big. Let's try 4. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 1 is 4, 5, 6. No, 4 was just a little bit too big. 3 will almost certainly work. 17 times 3. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Alright, 4 was too big, so 3 it is. Now we subtract. 5 minus 1 is 4. 6 minus 5 is 1. Bring down the 7. 17 goes into 147. Probably a lot. I'm going to guess 8. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 1 is 8. Plus 5 is 13. I think that's right, but I'm going to try 9. 17 times 9. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 6 is 15. Yeah, 9 was too big. 8 is my guess. 8 times 17 is 136. 1, 1. Bring down the 9. 17 goes into 119. 8 is too much. 5 is too little. Let's try 7. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 is 11. Yes. And nothing left over, so I can stop. So I get 3.87. All right, I'm going to give you one of these to try. Divide 6.51 by 4.2. Pause the video and try this now. Alright, again, our first step is to rewrite this as division by a whole number. To get from 4.2 to 42, we needed to multiply by 10. That is, we needed to move the decimal point one place to the right. We need to do the same thing in the dividend. We'll get 65.1. So the division we'll actually do is 42 into 65.1. 42 goes into 6, not at all. It goes into 65 once. 1 times 42 is, of course, 42. Subtracting, I have 3, 2, bring down the 1. 42 goes into 231, maybe 5 times. 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 4 is 20. Add 1 is 21. Yeah, that's going to be enough, I think. 42 times 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Yeah, 6 is too big. So 5. 5 times 42 is 210. Subtracting, I have 21 left. Notice I still have something left, so I need to put in another 0. Bring that 0 down. 42 goes into 210. I already know exactly 5 times. 5 times 42 is 210. Nothing left. So my quotient is 1.55.